It's about 11 a.m. on Memorial Day. Holiday. We shouldn't be working, but we are. We started about 8 o'clock. I've got the right hand brake assembly, master cylinder mounted and in place and physically operational. Have not yet filled it, have not yet bled it, but it's mounted. We had this foot peg assembly heated and bent down because it was bent up from having the bike being crashed at some point in time. So we heated that and bent it down, so now that's level. The hydraulic switch is installed. That's your brake switch down in here. And the flex line goes back to the caliper. The caliper metal pipe takes over and the caliper is bolted in place. And the bike rear wheel spins nicely. So theoretically, when I fill this guy up with hydraulic fluid and bleed the system, theoretically, absolutely nothing is going to leak. It's going to be wonderful, and the rear brake will work. We'll find that out when I get the nerve and the courage to go ahead and put fluid in that master cylinder. In the meantime, we got the new rear tire on. That's lovely. Over here, we got the chain guard installed. That's lovely. We have we took the clutch apart to make sure that the plates weren't all jammed and locked up together. We've seen that before. And we've got the battery installed and the heavy wires on the battery, but we have not yet energized the rest of the bike. But at this point in time, by putting a screwdriver across these two contacts on the relay, one, it makes sparks, which always scares me, and two, it will spin the starter motor. Now at this point in time, we just finished doing that, and everything spins the correct distance, the correct direction, but the motor itself isn't turning. So we're going to do a little demonstration here so you'll see that. Then we're going to take all of this apart and find out why is this gear back here not engaging with the crankshaft here. And hopefully it's just that the anti-reversal gear is installed backwards, which is really easy to do. And we'll let you know what we find when we find it. So right now, is there anything else we've done that we should talk about?
Put the new chain on.
Oh yeah, we put the new chain on and adjusted the tension and aligned the rear wheel. So it's been a busy little morning. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the spark generator screwdriver that I laid down somewhere. There it is back there. And Kevin is going to stand here with the video, and you will see when I short across there that you're going to see this moves, but this doesn't move. So get down lower and show the whole thing. Yeah, there you go. So when I short across the relay, yeah, this gear will turn, the gear it's connected to will turn, but this guy should turn like this, and it's not. So let's find out. I'm going to make sparks up here, you watch down there. I hate making sparks. So, something's not engaging back in here, and we're going to take it apart and see what we find. All right, very good. Thank you. Okay, I've got the alternator rotor out. These are all the mounting nuts and bolts and key. This is the assembly that supports the starter gears. Let's go over here. Let me take a pair of long nose with me. These ought to do, one of these ought to do it. Let's go over here and take a look. Alternator is out and hanging there. And this is the big gear that when this one goes this way, this one should go that way, which is the rotation of the engine. Okay, so lifting that off the shaft takes us into this little device right here, which is your backfire protector, which lets this gear turn this way only, but not backfire. But it looks like it's broken right there. Let's pull that out if we can and see what it looks like. Okay. So this guy goes in a very specific way with the little internals slanted one way or the other. One way it works, one way it doesn't. In the meantime, the fact that it's broken is bad. So I will order a new one of these anti-backfire gears, and everything should be wonderful. Ah, cool. All right. Enough for today, probably. I may do it a little bit more. I don't know. It's a beautiful day, and I don't have anything else to do. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to order a new little anti-backfire gear jobby do and resume this part of the bike when it comes in. Very good. Thank you. All right, I've got the starter assembly apart. This is called a sprag clutch, I believe. Sprag clutch. And basically it goes in here. Unfortunately, it fits both ways, so I have to be really careful. I'll show you the proper way after I do a little research. But anyway, this came out, and it was broken. We thought, gee, just for testing purposes, we'll weld it back together, which we did, but it's not going to make it work. Anyway, this guy will let the starter motor turn this way and lock up. To start the motorcycle, it'll turn the whole crankshaft that way successfully. Then once the crankshaft is running, once the engine's running, and this is spinning under its engine power, it lets this slip because this is going faster than this. And anyway, this is broken, so I'm going to order a new sprag clutch. And it's clever design, but it's broken, probably from a backfire or being installed wrong. As I recall, that edge goes in, but I wouldn't state that right now because it will go either way. And we took it apart, put it back together, and we're not going to use it. So I'll order a new one. And that is all for the day. And I'll close this down. Okay, I've reached a point on the bike. It's a good stopping point. I've ordered the sprag clutch for the starter. That's going to take a week or so to get here. I have wired the starter completely. The starter relay is up here. It's all wired. One big cable going to the starter. The red cable going to the ground side of the battery. This is the main power wire that's going to run the whole rest of the bike. The fuse will be here, and this will splice into the wiring system as your main power source. And we'll put a 10 amp fuse in there, and that'll take care of the whole bike with the 10 amps. You don't need anything heavier than 10 amps. So we'll do that. 15 at most, 10, but 10 works just fine. Anything more than that, wires will burn before the fuse will blow. This is the ground system we talked about. That's in. I'll walk over here and show you the wires that are hanging out of the bike at this point. All of these wires up here are actually electrically probably okay. I'll clean them up. I will insulate this splice that someone did better. I'll probably take it out and put in a splice. I clean these wires, get all this tape off of them, which isn't necessary, and then probably just bundle them up. These wires go to the power for the black box ignition system, and this little bundle here goes up to all of these interesting LEDs that are up here on the panel. These cables will be cleaned. The carb cleaner will clean them up very nicely. I'll make sure all the contacts in the switches work before I put it back together. And then cap off the unused wires that are extra. These are the main wire bundles back here. I've already started separating them. and securing them. So these all have to be combined to make the different systems work. And I'll probably start that when I get back on the bike. You can see how the earth distribution system is working nicely. These wires will be spliced together to send the ground circuit all over the bike. So far so good.